Most of the startups make losses. We all know they burn cash so that there is a faster growth that is achieved. And till the time they are sure that there is someone backing them, that cannot happen. So with the kind of backing that is provided by private equity or any kind of funds, they have a trajectory that they can try and achieve. So basically it is beneficial for everyone, whether it is, again, if it is suppose a completely new idea which could have IP rights, patents and all, creating those within such new setups can be much more easier rather than creating in existing setups. One very useful way of offshoot of private equity is strategic deals. Again, like recently I have been seeing a lot of deals happening even within the gems and jewelry industry, lot of diamond companies investing into jewelry companies or vice versa, lot of jewelry companies investing into or entering into joint ventures with retail companies. So maybe our next speaker will throw more light on that, but a lot of collaboration is happening and which is a subset of this entire discussion. So coming specifically to the gems and jewelry industry, and we all have the various statistics. Again, I'm not going to go into that, but the one thing which I think is very, very, which is a paradigm shift is that the market is probably going to explode. Especially with lab-grown diamonds. So natural diamonds, probably 1% of the global population was the target audience because they could only afford or buy those products. With lab-grown diamonds, I think the next 49%, if we even leave out the bottom 50%, there is a 50x opportunity which is presented by lab-grown diamonds. And lab-grown diamonds and then entire segment revolving around that. So jewelry, silver jewelry, and all the different metals and all the different stones. And I think, therefore, there is, from the current state itself, there could be great compounded growth which could be possible, especially in India, but even other places across the globe. And therefore, in order to tap this opportunity, someone who is really able to get the right resources and scale that up very fast. I believe it is all about so especially in natural diamonds, it was mainly the sourcing which was very important, and then converting the rough into polished, and then the jewelry was important. Here I think it is a distribution game. It is all about marketing and how you are able to reach out to the consumers, how you are able to get them to buy again and again and again, so repeat purchases. So this is going to be a segment which will need a lot of resources. Especially financial resources. And therefore, this is an apt segment for private equity. And therefore, already a lot of funds have been taking a lot of interest, and not just funds, even family-owned businesses, family offices have been taking a lot of interest in this particular space because of the explosive opportunity that is presented. Yes, so maybe a few of this I've already mentioned about. As I mentioned, I don't want to go slide by slide. I want to leave ample time for Q&A. But just let us look at the case study of Carrot Lane. I'm sure all of you are aware. The company was recently taken over by Titan fully. The first time that Titan invested was in 2016 when it acquired a 62% stake for 350 odd crores, and the remaining last stake was acquired at a valuation of 17,000 crores. So this is the kind of value that got created out of the same business in which you are all into. So that is the kind of opportunity. If one single company can generate value of this nature, just imagine if we have 10 more Carrot Lanes out here, even how big that opportunity is. There are numerous such examples, not just in India, especially in the US, and my friend would be able to elaborate on that because of his first-hand experience into that. But I think this is phenomenal. So again, there is a very important difference which people need to appreciate and understand. One is the income approach and one is the wealth creation. So however best you are with all the capabilities in the world, you are a whiz-kid kind of person, young, energetic, all the intelligence, everything. And in spite of that, whatever you can earn, it is a limit on that, because you have limited hours and there is a limit on the income that you can earn. There could be passive income, but actively you can you can earn only that much. But wealth is something which is passive, which is completely created out of without really making a lot of effort on the active side. And any wealthy person in the world, if you see, has become wealthy not by the income that he earns every year, because of the wealth that is created by the businesses in which he is invested or the businesses he has created. So this is a typical example. I'm sure the promoters, whatever income they earned during that entire journey would have been a fraction of what they eventually got by cashing out on the equity. So this speaks of the kind of, so again, the statistics and all, I am not going, like, just have a look at the revenues and profit. This is not something, this is not a company which was generating huge profits per se. It was a very minuscule profit, but vis-a-vis that, the valuation that they were able to achieve was mind-boggling. And then there are a lot of Indian examples also which are emerging, and I think in the days to come, in years to come, we'll have more and more such success stories. So yeah, the income and wealth, the difference between both, again, I'm not going to go into that much, which is quite self-explanatory. But one important, again, thing which I thought is very important is how exactly the deal gets configured, what is the starting point, and what is the point at which the deal, how it is captured. So it is captured in the form of a term sheet, and all the terms and conditions which are associated with that particular deal are captured, signed off, and then the actual process of due diligence, the actual agreements, the actual financial commitment, the actual flow of money, everything starts. So the term sheet becomes a very important document in that entire process of raising finance or the investing into a startup. Again, there are a lot of nuances, a lot of jargon that is used, a lot of rights that the investor would typically want in his favor would be written or documented in the term sheet. Again, if you are an investee company, surely this is something going to go above your head. You need to have proper legal help to really draft this properly, so that it is not a one-sided kind of agreement. Coming to the most important part, and something which audience wanted to hear, is how is exactly the valuation done? What is the process for the valuation? So again, valuation is not a science by in itself. It is more an art. It is more a gamble on the promoter's ability to really grow the business to a particular scale. But there are also methods, means and methods through which mathematically one can derive the value. So one of that is called the DCF, discounted cash flow based approach, where the future cash flows of the next 5-10 years are discounted to the current date by using a discounting factor, and then you get the present value of the business. So what is very important in this entire method is to have a 5 or 10-year projection of the future profit and then the cash flows, so that then you can arrive at the present value. So that is one approach. Second is basically a multiples based approach. So EBITDA multiple or profit multiple or sales multiple. Again, depending on the nature of the industry, the valuation method that could be used could be different. There could be a mix of different methods that are typically used, not a single method, but a combination of all. And if it is a mature business, not a startup, not a early stage business, then it is an asset-based approach also. What is the total amount of investments into plant and machinery and fixed assets? And a multiple of those assets could be a figure which can give the value. Again, the evaluation, how the investor typically evaluates a company, there could be a 10-point process. On each I have a slide, but again I am not going to go through that. But just on the 10 points, the business model is important, revenue model, market opportunity, how are you solving the problem in the market and how it is different from others, promoters and the team, financials and go-to-market strategy, competition, current traction, deal terms, risk factors, and proprietary rating. So I think there is a methodological process that most of the funds would use, and I think again, depending on the quantum of investment, it could be more detailed or lesser. So with this, I think I'll end this part of the session. We can always take the Q&A later on, and even later on, if anyone has any questions, I can always, they can reach out to me. So thank you, and over to you, Anilji. So we'll take the next stage. Thank you.
Thank you. While we are making this small arrangement, thank you for the wonderful conceptual framework that you have put in. I will just like to add, by the time the chairs are put in, you gave a wonderful example of Candare, Titan. What I'm amazed is about the Bluestone, how they have been able to get funding from 10 investors. For the last 10 years, they are not making a single rupee profit. Same is the example of Melora. Having said that, let's now take our seats and we'll take this conversation forward. So Satish, I will provide a cue to you so that you can start your, what do you call, your address to all of us. It's basically a conversation. As I see Satish, he's what you call a Khuda ka banda, Suttho Sai. Why I am saying that? Because he had almost renounced the world. He had become a sannyasi. And how he came back to the corporate world and how he has created a business is something which is really fascinating, but we will restrict this to the PE equity part. But we have a scope of doing a special session later on. With these words, I would request you to share your journey with all of us.
Welcome, everyone. So I've been both sides, financer, right? And also I've received financing. So when you wear the shoes on both sides, it's easy. So if you really want to achieve anything, you look from the other person's point of view. So I'm a landlord, I own properties, and I'm also a tenant. So I see myself always from both sides. I'm a borrower and a lender. Now, how do you convince somebody to put money, their hard-earned money, with you? I have one of my franchisees sitting here who's come to, they're opening a store in Dubai, and they're going to run it for us, and they're the franchisee. So how do you get somebody to invest money? Very simple. What would you want as an investor? You want growth. You want security of your funds. You want to see it is a legit business. It's environmentally friendly, karmic free. That's why our whole logo is karma free diamonds. But more important than that is they must like you. They must trust you. They actually want to work with you. Because remember, when you actually take money and you're working even with a private equity company, they assist you. It's a marriage in a way. So when you are borrowing or you want to get money from the market, just understand, they have to trust you. That's the bottom line. You may lose money like most companies. Uber has lost money, Category lost money. With the grace of God, we are the only startup that actually makes a lot of money. So it's easier to get investment when people say, oh, you're making money from day one. As a startup, nobody makes money. You burn money. But how you make money is, again, when I am a retailer, I'm looking at the customer. What does the customer want? We give lifetime repair guarantee. Lifetime 100% exchange guarantee. Lifetime, if you need money, God forbid, in a bad day, you get 90% cash back for life. So we look at everybody from the customer's point of view. What will the customer be happy with? So if you look from this angle, you'll always get a client, you will have the suppliers, you will have co-workers, and you'll get the finance. Finance is one of the most important aspects for a business to grow, no matter how much money you have. So CaratLane got a 17,000 crore evaluation, I think on 87 crore net profit. So if you go to see on 86, 87 crore net profit, 17,000 crore, doesn't make sense, right? It is based on what is the potential rather than what it is. So when you get a franchisee, they know in retail or any business, you get repeat clients, you grow slowly. If you grow too fast, then there's a crash. So what you have to understand is when you are doing any business or you have an idea, First of all, be very focused on your idea. Understand that if you're a wavering-minded person, you are not focused, I will lose interest in you. Number two, I want to see your enthusiasm. I want to see a realistic growth chart, not exaggerated, which is unreasonable. When I told him my growth chart, I was very, actually it was a low growth chart I gave him, and he didn't believe in the low one. So we are going to definitely cross over 20 stores in the next few months. It's in construction, it's happening. And I'm actually going to be moving to Spain by end of September because we just closed a deal with 32 stores in Spain. So I have to focus developing 32 stores one shot. Okay, so when you grow, you have to understand that people will come to you, money comes to you. It's like a shadow. The more you run after the shadow, you'll never catch the shadow runs away from you. Turn around and walk away, the shadow follows you. Lakshmi, prosperity, name, fame, power, possession, everything comes to you when you don't want it. So I gave up on the world. I didn't want to do business. I was retired, bored to death. And then Lakshmi comes to you when you don't want it. So I'm doing this. Actually, I wanted to call my company Time Pass. But they say if you call it Time Pass, you have to carry watches. So actually, the real purpose of my business is to just enjoy. It so happened to be Solitario because they wouldn't allow my real name, which I wanted.
Satish,
Yeah.
now I will get you back on track. Very pointed question I'll ask. How did you convince Vivek Oberoi to invest money in your company and the diamanter whose name we are not disclosing? Because they are hard-nosed businessmen. See, Vivek Oberoi is a person who has invested in 100 companies. So how did you go about raising money from such a guy?
He came to me.
Oh, wow.
Simple. Where he gave an award to my partner Ricky because you were the first diamond factory in Pune. So he came as to give the award, basically. That's all. To give an award for something nobody had attained was to have a diamond factory in Pune, right? It's new, unique. And then the relationship grew. He saw the product. He understood. He has a good vision to see that lab-grown is the future. See, I'm in the natural business my whole life. These are people are still doing natural business, but they see also future in lab-grown. So he saw the future in lab-grown. He liked our designing, the way we think, the Western ideas we have. See, I've always exported, bought from India, means manufactured in India, and exported to US. Nobody's seen my designs. The sad thing is India never saw what India makes. When India got to see what India makes, they were astonished. Wow. I said, this has been since 40 years. You never knew it existed because you never see it. It just comes made in India, gets out of India. So when I saw Indians appreciating what India makes, with the designing that we have, when I came, I saw, no offense, you can record it, I saw Malabar, Tanishq, everybody. I told they're still selling Fiat and ambassadors in jewelry business. They don't even know what Tesla is. We are in another stratosphere. The designing we do, nobody has it. And how particular I'm in the porosity of the gold, the finishing, no snagging. I can't explain the details I go into. They don't care. They just make it and sell it. And that.
What about the second deal that?
Okay, second deal now. So we were a grower that cut diamonds, set the diamonds, and sold jewelry. What was missing? The growing part, the rough, the source. So the rough person who I used to buy from, who was my customer, who was my supplier, decided to join. It was a very, very big investment. So he will have a stake in the company of 15% for the massive investment. But now we can officially say, from grower to end user, there's nobody in between. So we grow, we cut, we polish, we design, we set and sell it. Now coming to the financial part, which is the most important, which everybody wants, is how to raise money. Yeah, you have a question? No. Okay, this is how to raise money. How do you convince somebody like an actor to put money, or somebody who's in the rough to put money with you? Simple. What is your strategic plan? What are you trying to achieve? What is your goal? Which countries and where you want to do? So you first focus on what you want to achieve from the company. Most people actually don't even know what they want out of life. How are they going to know what they want out of a business? Get your life in order first. What do you want to do? What is your 5-year goal, 1-year goal, 10-year goal, or a 20-year goal? Once you are focused in your own life, then that same focus goes into your business. That same focus helps you to grow, and the same focus draws investors to you. Remember, if you go after investor, you'll never close a deal. The investor should come to you. Be that person. Remember, if you run after the customer knows that you're trying to sell. Don't sell the customer. Just sell yourself, not the product. Once they like you, they're talking to you, sale happens. Like a flower gives fragrance. Doesn't even know it's giving fragrance. That's what you should become. You know, we want to serve humanity. Everybody says, I want to serve, want to serve. No, don't serve humanity. Service happens. We want to seek happiness. Don't seek happiness. Happiness should come out of you as a natural state. Success becomes that. So if you are a bubble of that energy, then everything will come to you. Not just money, name, fame, power, position. Everything that's possible will come to you. See, here's an investor, correct? He has money. Can you imagine? Same thing with grace. God has all the grace in the world. Nobody wants grace from God. He's sitting on abundance of grace. His fund has so much grace, nobody takes it. Similarly, a fund has money. What are they looking for? The right place, the right person, the right company to invest in. So you have to first get your act together. And then everything will flow. You don't have to run after anything in this world. And when you don't want it, more comes to you. Try a pretty girl you go after. You chase her, she'll run away. Show you're interested in her and walk away, she'll come after you. Right?
Thank you for the spiritual twist. Now we come to Nirav. Nirav, sustainability is an issue which is come to the fore. And today's youngsters have bought that concept wholeheartedly. Whether it is lab grown or gold or natural diamonds, sustainability, not just sustainability, but ESG norms. I think they are going to become compulsory when one is going about, whether it's an IPO or raise funds. So from your presentation, that was the space that you are not covered. Please briefly cover for all of us.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, let me, like what exactly is sustainability? Let me define that, because a lot of people in recent days, like because of climate change, that has become a very, very important subject for consumers, especially in the developed countries. It is still catching up in India. We are not so conscious as consumers, as the society, as in the West. But sustainability, the word comes from United Nations has Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 goals, which includes eradication of poverty, hunger, and there are a whole host of issues, and which most of the developing countries, especially India, all those 17 are very important. So climate action is one of them, fighting against what is happening with the environment. But there are a whole host of other issues. Now, any business, if it has to succeed in today's world, and with whatever is happening around, so the wars and famines and natural calamities and whatever happens around us impacts us in some way or the other. And if we are not conscious, if we are vulnerable to that, but if we don't build that into the strategy ourselves, we don't follow or have strategies in place to reduce the impact that we could have on the world, the negative impact, then investors, consumers are not going to like that business much. This consciousness has already, like it is coming from the funds which are investing from overseas, but gradually even local funds and consumers, even in India, will be more and more conscious. So especially if you are selling already to markets in the West, then this is of prime importance even today. But even if not, even if India is your market, going forward, you need to really build this into your game plan, in your strategy, whether it is the use of water, whether it is the pollution coming out of your factories, the male-female ratio in the workforce, how do you treat them, the equality, the whole host of issues are covered in the larger concept of ESG. So environment, social, and governance. Social is everything to do with the society and the people working with you. Environment is environment. And governance. Governance is about integrity, ethics, doing the right things, paying the right taxes. Everything comes within governance. So I think that is becoming more and more and more important.
Thank you. Somebody had asked a question about valuation. Can you raise hands, please? Somebody was talking about valuations. Okay. Who wants to raise funds? Can you raise hands? Okay, the lady there. I will ask you a question. It's a frank conversation between us. You meet Ashnir Grover or somebody who has investable funds. You meet him in a lift. You have to give an elevator pitch. How would you go about doing it? Just share your ideas.
Like a 5 seconds thing in an elevator?
Okay, maybe the power goes off and you have 10 minutes. How will you go about it?
So firstly, I'll ask him if he wears jewelry. My product is lightweight gold jewelry. So I'll ask him how much does he wear. If he's wearing something, then I'll ask him how much did he get it from. If he's not wearing it, I'll be like, why are you not wearing it? You see a woman in the house wearing it. Why is a guy in the house, but the men in the house not wearing jewelry?
You're not selling him jewelry. You are selling him
an
idea.
Yeah, my idea. But that is my product, right? My idea in the end is resulting in my product, right? So I'm telling him that, like, why are you not wearing it? He says, I'm not wearing it because I don't find it in the market, or maybe he does not like it. I say him, you have the watches that you're wearing, right? It's so fashionable, it's latest, it's everything that you want. Why can't you express yourself being the man in the house in form of jewelry? He then thinks about it. If he thinks about it and then he wants to talk about it, then we can go forward.
Great. Please. Any other answer? Mr. Valuation, would you like to share your view?
Regarding what?
How will you give a pitch to a probable investor? Okay, great. So, good attempt, but I would like to tell you something, that in the world of investment, we have two types of people. You have the right brain thinkers, you have left brain thinkers, number crunchers and storytellers. So when you are talking about right brain,